Well, Jordan, I'm so glad that you're here to interview for our GSSW podcast.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
And so we're here together talking about experiencing the Baylor difference in the Garland School of Social Work. And we'd love for everyone to be able to get to know you, Jordan. So would you be able to introduce yourself?
Yeah, 100%. So my name's Jordan Goodnature. I work here at the Garland School of Social Work. I think more importantly than that, I'm a Baylor alum. I graduated in 2018, and I loved it so much that I'm still here.
Love that. And just so that folks can get to know you a little bit, we'd love to dive into some rapid fire questions. And so our first rapid fire question by tradition is, what is one word to describe Waco, Texas, which is where you're living right now?
Idyllic.
Idyllic.
Full stop. Yeah.
Okay. Full stop.
Yeah.
Idyllic.
That's
Fantastic.
my one word mic drop.
We
moment.
love it. Okay. So next rapid fire question. What is your go-to order at your favorite coffee shop in Waco, Texas?
Okay. So I'm going to do a chain because you can't get away from chain coffee, and I'm going to do a local. So my favorite chain coffee is Dutch Bros. Every single Friday, I have a tradition with myself, no matter how late I'm running, where I go get a large iced salted caramel protein mocha. And I tell myself it's healthy because it's protein milk when it's also a lot of sugar, but we don't talk about that part. For Waco coffee, I love Be Kind. It's locally owned. It's really close to our campus here at the School of Social Work. Their churro latte with oat milk is one of my very favorite things. And they have really, really good bagels, and they're also gluten-free, which I don't need, but I love that they think about that. It's like a worry-free kitchen. So that's my favorite go-to coffee order.
Love that. I want one of those churro lattes right now, but
so
we love traditions. And so that Dutch churro order that you have, that you regularly do, I admire that. I want to channel that. Absolutely. Final rapid fire question. If you could instantly master any skill, what would it be?
So I've thought about this a lot, and I think it's going to be surprising.
All right.
It's skateboarding.
Oh,
I think it's the coolest thing. I bought a longboard when I graduated from Baylor. It is in my utility closet at home. But I think it's so cool. And I think it looks so fun. I've always wanted to be like a longboarder. So if I could instantly, so I knew I would not get hurt if I tried to do it, it would be skateboarding.
So longboarding, I was picturing like skate park vibe.
No, not at all.
I'm like X Games, Jordan doing tricks.
No, I'm thinking like cruising, like a penny board. Stuff like that.
Love that. Well, Jordan, it's so fun to get to know you a little bit more. So we're going to just kind of dive into what it looks like to experience the Baylor difference in social work. And the first question that we have is more focused on just our city, the university that we love, Baylor. And so what is it like? Because you look back on your transition here to Waco, Texas. What was it like moving to Waco, Texas and attending Baylor University for you?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, I've been here in Waco for 10 years. So I did my entire undergraduate degree here, and then I've worked for this university that I love so much. Right after I graduated, I started working for the university. I'm originally from Fort Worth, which if you don't know is about an hour and a half away from Waco. And if you asked me when I was 18 and making my college decisions, I would not have thought I'd be here for as long as I have been. But here I am 10 years later, and I don't foresee myself being anywhere else. So just like Baylor is a medium-sized school, Waco is a medium-sized town. And I was used to like a larger town with creature comforts, but now that I've been here, it's like the best of both worlds. So I have a Target where all my clothes come from. I think 5 Dutch Bros now, actually, which is insane. A million Starbucks is just like everybody else. Like the things you need to have, for me, a high quality of life. But we're not stuck in traffic all the time. We have some really special small town local gems, like some locally owned restaurants and fun things to do. We kind of secretly have one of the largest municipal parks in the country in Cameron Park. And my husband and I love to hike with our dog there. All of that to say, I think that Waco is just like this incredible, perfect, like Goldilocks size where you're not removed from any creature comforts or anything that you need, but you also have a little bit of a slower pace and you get to experience some really cool things.
Love that. So how would you describe the Baylor difference, particularly in the Garland School of Social Work?
Yeah, so we summarize our mission like this. We value humanity, engage spirituality, and promote equity. And those principles are embedded in the fabric of who we are as a school. So we know that social work is a passion-driven practice. And our job at the Garland School of Social Work is to equip your passion with the skills you need to go forward and change the world. And that's really just in everything that we do. And I think a great example of that is the space that is actually right outside of where we're recording. It's called the living room. And we call that because that's where everyone, faculty, staff, current students, alumni, gathers for different things throughout the year. So we really don't have those distinctions that you might find in other schools where, faculty don't talk to staff or graduate students don't talk to undergraduate students. We are all in this together to see each other succeed and ultimately go out into our communities and make a difference.
Yeah, I love that the Garland School of Social Work does have that feeling like it is home, it is a community, and there are spaces like the living room where people can show up and provide the gift of their presence. I love saying that, like the best thing that any of us can provide is really the gift of our presence. And a part of a presence, what makes Baylor so unique, and particularly Garland School, is the kind of mentorship that takes place in the classroom and outside of the classroom with faculty and staff. But also just the overall class size. Like that's a part of the value of the Garland School of Social Work in Baylor. And so how do small class sizes and mentorship opportunities enhance the student experience in the Garland School of Social Work?
Yeah, I think this is truthfully one of the main things that set our program apart from other programs is that we're so intentional about those relationships. We know that time is a finite resource. To spend your time, and I mean spend literally as in money, to spend your time getting your degree here, we want to make sure that's a good investment and that we're investing in you as a person and not just a student. And so part of how we do that is with our intentionally small class sizes. Our average class size is 15, and we have a student faculty ratio of 10-1. So that means you're getting to know your professors and they are getting to know you. And this can be as informal as just chatting after class. It can be as formal as pursuing a mentorship opportunity. But we have found that those one-to-one connections are the things that when students leave, they look back and they can say, this specific person impacted my journey. This specific person helped me find my job. And I know, so like we don't have time for all the success stories that come from things like that. So it's so important and it happens naturally. And we also have like that mentorship program, things that we build in to help it happen.
Yeah. And so oftentimes when I talk about like my role, and so many of our listeners and friends know that I love the opportunity to be able to journey with students into the university, at it, and then from it as they go and make that Baylor difference. And so I know that you so value that as well, Jordan. And I love that and working with you and working alongside you. And so could you particularly share a story of a student whose life or career trajectory was profoundly impacted by their time here in the Garland School?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am going to cheat a little bit and do two because I couldn't pick just one.
That's great.
But for listeners who might know me, in my previous life, I did work in undergraduate admissions at Baylor, and that was so lovely. And this transition to the Garland School of Social Work has been just so incredible and life-giving. But what's been really fun is that continuity. So I have a handful of students who are in our programs who I've actually known them since they were juniors in high school. And so to get to talk to them at that level and see how excited they are for social work and the passion they have for helping others in certain communities or their own home communities. And then seeing them now, like as these full-fledged adults going and doing these things is incredible. So one of those folks, she just graduated with her MSW. And it was so cool because I knew she had graduated and I didn't realize she had stayed for her MSW. And we do a ton of like student events in the living room. And I help with those. And I was putting like Fritos on a plate for a Frito chili pie or something, which I think is reason enough to come here. It was so good. But as I'm doing that, she goes, "Oh my gosh, Jordan." And I looked up and it was my student. I said, "It's so good to see you. I remember you. I remember your mom. Are you here for your master's?" And she's so excited. She's got a job lined up. I think by now that's already started. What's incredible is I'm going through these applications now and I see her little sister's name on our roster. So she has gotten so many incredible opportunities, is going forth to be a social worker. And she loved her experience at Baylor so much that her little sister is now applying and she's also majoring in social work. So that's awesome. That's one. Second is a student that I mentor, another student that I was his admissions counselor at that time. And I've gotten to come alongside, just see how these policy classes have impacted him and informed the work that he wants to do. He's using his Bachelor of Social Work to actually go forth into law school. And so this week and last week, I've been helping him with law school applications, and he's going to be a really competitive applicant because of the connections he's made at the Garland School. So that's really exciting.
Love that so much. I remember when we first met, something that really struck my heart and my excitement for wanting to move to Waco, Texas and be a part of this community was this idea that during your time at Baylor, you realized and you found so strongly as an alumni that the world needs a Baylor.
Absolutely.
And then having gotten to know and be a part of the Garland School of Social Work, you had found that, man, the world really needs the Garland School of Social Work. And so as you reflect on all the different students, like the ones that you mentioned, whose stories are so near and dear to your heart, Jordan. Those are just two. You could have probably shared
I probably have
so many. I mean, if you meet Jordan and you get the chance to hop on a call with Jordan or meet them in person, like you are just going to absolutely just be so cared for and valued. And so as you reflect on all of these various students that you will be meeting in the near future, those who are listening, what advice would you give to prospective students exploring their career in social work at the Garland School?
Yeah, so I think, like I said before, we know that social work is a passion-driven discipline and that a lot of people find social work because they have experienced firsthand or observed hurts in their communities they want to be part of the healing in. So I think in thinking about that as your career and making caring your career, I would encourage you to find your why and to hold on to it. And your why can change. So a great example, even though I'm not a social worker, is my why has always been to help students access higher education. And that changed from just bachelor's degrees to bachelor's and master's degrees because I think they're so important. And then that changed from bachelor's and master's degrees to degrees in social work. Because like Curtis said, the world needs more social workers, and I'm not afraid to say the world needs more Garland School educated social workers. And so your why can evolve and change over time, but find that core thing that drives you and keep it in the headlights. I think that's really important when pursuing any graduate program. School is rigorous. It's difficult for different people for different reasons. So holding on to, this is why I'm here, this is my motivator, can really help make the hard days a little softer and remind you this is what I'm here for. And remember, you're not alone and that you have an incredible support team all the way up to when you're part of our programs, when you're here as a student, and even after you leave to help you keep that why in the headlights and to help you make a difference in your community and across the world, which is what we want to help you do.
Jordan, thank you so much for sharing just your experience. Love the rapid fire questions, always getting to know you. Just feel like we have just such a better idea for the value of this community, class sizes, mentorship, and really what it looks like to live in Waco and be a part of the Garland School. And so Thanks for taking the time to be with us. We're looking forward to more conversations.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.